Quick, like and subscribe if you want good luck for the next 5 years.
We're going to a creative warrior, and that's Sway, this Fortnite squad champion. Possible fourth elim there, 47, bang. I catches someone right in this grill and gets him out of the lobby. Now it is Sway in full sway.
Hey, Fortnite Focus fans, want more V-Buck giveaways? Make sure to use code COOL in the item shop, and we'll continue to give out redemption codes just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.
Well, let's hope we can see some of him, but we are heading into the next game of NA East. Take it away, gentlemen.
Here's the possibilities of why big games could pop off. 4 points per elimination, and if you make your way all the way through, you can have a big pop-off game like Spartan did. He had himself a 90-point game, which is the highest points in NA East. So that's what I'm talking about. Those Tfus out there, even like anybody that could make it, like Cypher. I know people were giving him credit, but all the people on the bubble just need that one big old pop-off game. As we're on board here with Scope, Tfu's partner, as he's doing his best with that C4, causes some big damage right there. Going to go ahead and push in, knowing this person does not want to mess around with Scope because the conditions of everybody having this is day 2. We know that Scope lands here, Monster, and we know he is the king of the Grotto.
Hey, this is a rivalry that we've seen develop since the FNCS Duels competition. I mean, it carried over, trickled into yesterday's kind of show flow and competitive matches as well. We're seeing it still happen here. These are players that are going to stick to their guns, and I mean, Scoped has been getting the best of him, not only in duos, but now in solos as well. Will it be enough for Scoped, though? As I see from just the silhouette of the enemy over there, Degen has what looked like an RPG, so that's a sleeper weapon right there. That's a tide shifter. That's a momentum swinger of a weapon.
Big time momentum swinger, especially if you're low on mats like Scoped is right now. Scope's average placement in day 1 was around the 50s, so you saw that he racked up about 10 plus elims for the day, so he's having a lot of early engagements, but he's still about 109th place or so. So that's gonna be really big, as Hollow is gonna do his best to stay away from Scope, as he's now out in the open waters, and when you're in the open waters, you can't build doggy dog and you get eliminated, and Scope taking advantage of that situation.
Talk about the worst case scenario, to be out in the sea where you can't build and having someone like scoped in on you. You're not going to survive there. I'm sorry to say it. And oh, look, it was Hollow who had the RPG, so now Scope gets to come up on a major weapon right here. Remember, that Elim generated max, so he's probably in the advantage now against what would be Assault Degen right here. Let's see how this is going to play out here. He's pushing up for height right now. No, it's Moose. How many players are landing here? I see Hornet. Well, there's like 4 players here. So you have Hollow, Hornet, Moose, Degen. And I think Hornet's rotating in a little late, but still, so many players playing off of the Grotto right now. It's kind of incredible, actually. Big shot, Sancho.
Big shots indeed, as Moose gets Scope down to 6 HP. Scope does have a bandy gun if he wants to back up, but Scope says no, not needed. I'll take the 50 HP instead, and Moose gets the caboose out of the server right there. But you take a look, man, the elim feed itself, once you see Scoped in it and you know that you land in Grotto too, you know that maybe he's a little bit weak. I'm gonna go ahead and knock on that door and see what I can do. And I think Hornet's realizing, all right, maybe Scope's on fire, as we're on board with another person has been lighting up the competitive scene. It is Unknown, who bullied Dr. Lupo yesterday with that fun clip there on Reddit. I think Dr. Lupo said the sun was in his eyes. Maybe the air condition was running a little bit too cold, giving himself the cold fingers. But Unknown looking for this elim here on Royale. You have to be careful here. This is a very dangerous player who's been getting very, very hot. This Fortnite squad champion, which was a very interesting way, man. That pop-up way, his Twitter post of saying, like, not that many people wanted me on the squad, but we did it with the squad that we had, and we're Unknown. Look at the aggression, Monster sending in the motorboat to be the tip of the spear, getting down to the whites. What a big-time play from Unknown.
It's a caliber of skill difference. I mean, we saw Royale fight in the previous fight. He was making some edits, mistakes, but someone like Unknown, he's going to capitalize every single time, especially when he's swinging the momentum in the battle. The boat there was the difference maker for him to set it up.
Dude, how can you plan for someone to send a boat to you In any moment of the game. I mean, sure, in a pub match, you could send a boat with some knuckleheads on the boat, you know what I mean, running around in squads, but in a solo FNCS Invitational, Unknown uses that boat play. And look, that is the Axe of Champions. So that is something that a lot of these players will earn if they do really well for the rest of the month.
Let's not forget that open qualifier for last week, pushing a lot of these aggressive type open pub players. I mean, you're fighting against the king of who created that playstyle, Unknown Army, who arguably popularized the W key playstyle and showing that it is viable to be straight up elimination warrior, okay? Jump in boxes and handle it like that.
We're going to a creative warrior, and that's Sway, right, Monster? We're talking about the popularization of different styles, and Sway is all about that. King of the style, Sway going in, doing what he does best, trying to get the tags. And Sway, man, not only proving to the world right now, it's not all about those Instagram with all the hip-hop. He could do it on the big stage, and right now, I think Unknown is lurking in the waters, Monster, so we may have a pop-off matchup between the two titans of Sway and Unknown.
Not only that, I believe Unknown Army is playing on keyboard and mouse inputs today. He's one of the only hybrid players that can flex like that and just show you guys it's not just about using the inputs, but it's about his play style in general. It's confidence to push in the box. He really doesn't respect the skill level of a lot of players. Like, he just knows if he gets in, he is willing to take that fight. He's probably going to connect all the way through. But we'll see more. We'll find out more as that story kind of develops throughout the course of the day here. Good his welcome here in the Grotto. And kind of lurking about, not really doing much. Here's Sway, though. Sway just outside of Lazy Lakes. Sway is landing at the kind of rainbow houses on the coastal beach just outside of Slurpee. Normally, that's an area that is definitely contested. So for the 2 eliminations that he has so far, I mean, we know he caught one over at the swamps where he likes to rotate into, but wouldn't be surprised if he's catching some early game engagements right at his POI as well. You can see he plays for the floppers. That's why it's in his inventory right now. One thing Sway kind of shines in is obviously creative free building and you know, PvP aspect, but he lacks that end game sense. Can he really kind of gather it all together and prove that he can make it through? If he can just kind of tidy up that one little knot right there, he might be someone to be afraid of. Someone like a Clicks.
Absolutely. I mean, Sway has been seeking counsel from other pros as well as he's trying to make his name for himself in the competitive scene. I mean, usually the creative warriors out there, they kind of have unlimited material, so we know the mechanics are there. We know everything else is there. Let's just see. I mean, not only in-game, but just the discipline, right, of knowing when to engage in someone. We kind of see that Sway is an aggressor well, but he uses that discipline that he is learning over time. I mean, day one, getting himself 89 points, that's a lot to go into, and he's already in about 183rd place after day one. So here he goes, Sway going in, a crowd favorite, I would like to say. I mean, I see him all the time on my Insta, and you can see a lot of jumps, edits, and there you go. Just like clockwork, getting to K right then and there, jumping right into the box using that pickaxe jump technique. So that's what I like about Sway. There's so many things that a lot of people are learning from, and then Sway could just put it all together. You're expecting a phenomenal run in the rest of this FNCS Invitational.
Honestly, that's the aggressive player special right there, the ramp, the jump in. And then when you combine that with the movement that you can kind of access on using a controller input, it just looks so fluid, so flawless. Here's Scope. We saw him do the same exact thing yesterday. He sets up what would be a trap, maybe a big pot or something down in front, and see if he can catch a cheeky elim. This time around, it's not going to convert into anything special, so he's going to use this geyser here to kind of rotate on out. This is kind of risky as there is a player up in the base here. He's baiting out with a heavy sniper, trying to see if he can hit the shot. We've seen him do this before as well. This could just be deja vu from yesterday. He ends up making the same play, but no. He wants to get to zone. He wants to worry about material here. The thing about the Grotto kind of sitting there for so long, he's now on the back foot. This is what I noticed from reviewing his gameplay as well, is he ends up in this situation so often, really depending on a mid-game frag to kind of catch them all up. That's what he's setting up right now. This is, would otherwise be a very risky push, but the heavy sniper, look, he gave away the ace card right there, and now he's in the box with the opponent. He's pushing for it, Sancho.
Yeah, man, that is one of those opportunities. One of the techniques you see as well is you hold on, as I like you call it, the ace up the sleeve. You hold on to that one last moment, because now the other player knows, okay, Scoped has a heavy, so I got to prepare for that as well and make my adjustments in my defensive play. And not only you could do that, as you can see right there, Scope is trying to put that ramp on his backside so he could just kind of hop right into the box. And we saw that a little bit earlier with FaZe Sway. Scoped right now with 13 points right now, heading into, this is his possible fourth elim there. 47, bang! Grotto goes down, as we did see Grotto do a little decently in the Grotto, and I feared that if you go to the Grotto, you would eventually run into Scope, and Scope finally getting it done.
It's a great cone by Scoped right there to shut that fight down. It did last a lot longer than what he probably would have liked, though. That opponent burning through majority of their heavy mats. You see it's mainly brick and metal there, so he's not going to be able to reap the rewards of the material cost. But regardless of what, I mean, he just finished basically shy of top 100 yesterday. So if he can continue to keep this up, he is making his way through as a top 300 solo individual player. I know he may not be the best. He's someone who's highly regarded as an exciting player to watch right now, but he has a lot to prove. Who knows if he can hold that temperament and really gather his resource costs, or kind of catch his impacts in the mid game the way he so heavily depends on. He is going to be a scary player.
It's almost as if, you know, when you rely on the three-point shot in the NBA. Sure, you get a lot of high-scoring games, you get a lot of excitement, but that play style could catch you. No doubt, Scope is still a very dangerous player. We all know the caliber of what he can do, but a lot of things can happen and go wrong here. As we're flying right over to the rest of the match, we see Dow Boys, Robbed, and Pants here, kind of setting up on the north side of this storm circle. But yeah, man, you said so yourself. Scope, still very excited, very highly popular player, rooted for. I no doubt he could do it. Is all he got to do is just try to get the mid game and then see what the rest can unfold for him. As we're right here with Berserk playing the fish game. He has about 6 floppers or so in his inventory. Altogether, the fish would be 6. And then, of course, this is interesting. I mean, Baller mentioned it in the previous broadcast, Monster, that you could go heavy on the floppers and allow you to do those late high ground retakes. And Berserk finishing 105th place in day 1 with about 108 points. So this strategy is actually working out for him.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good so far. I mean, he's staying true and staying consistent here. He's trying to make this big push right now. Talk about an early rotate so you can get some prime real estate right now. It might just pay off. It looks like he feels like he's expended a lot of material. He might be looking for a fight, which is kind of interesting. This is such a scary place to fight in. Just look at the map. Look at the arrows. There's so many players that can throw their 2 cents into the mix here. Can he even grab any of this loot is going to be the real answer. As we know, oh, there it is. He gets punished for the open wall, and that's going to be the sound cues to the rest of the lobby. But hey, he's a fish player. He should be okay. The shots come in now. It's Storm Surge time.
Storm Surge, of course, if it kind of punishes passive play, so you want to be mindful of that. I've been on the tail end receiving of that in one of the skirmishes, and
definitely is something that is a little sketchy, as I think Sancho dropped out there, but regardless of what, I'll finish it. It's not a good feeling being on the tail end of the Storm Surge as we jump in with Danny here. Danny looks like he is kind of taking a fight right now. Here he is, moving back and forth. Gonna see what he can do to find the fight. Just biding his time right now. He's biding his time. Can he make the edit right now? And this is the important part of mid-game. It's not really wasting this opportunity. There's no reason to fight right now because of the fact that the next half in, half out is going to be the determining factor now as the shots are coming in here. The little box battle is such a risky fight, but okay, it's going to pull. It's going to pull West.
Speaking of West, Sancho West is back in the building. Right now, Danny with 1 E points going towards it. Let's see if Danny could get another one to get that feel-good vibes that you desperately need when you're going into the second day of competition. But the vibes of a rocket launcher, got to be careful right now. Really close to another placement point in the 50s. And then after that, it's every 40th, 30th, 20th, and then from 15 down, especially 10 down, you get some maxing as Magnolia is sitting right above him, and Danny gets some nice elim right there, and we see an aspect right now. Follows Sway still in this monster. FaZe represented today here in day 2.
He's doing very well, controlling his temperament. We saw him exercise a couple disengages. I mean, you can see from the elim count in its own, he's not afraid to fight. He'll take a couple where he can. He'll perform too. He's one of the more aggressive players. He's got that ace jump in your box play. Like I said, it's the aggressive tendency, that jump in the box ramp boost. It's all these players really like to do. Because right now the RPG is going to crack open a build, and this is the perfect time to do it, right? It's when the builds are nice and weak, they're nice and fresh. He notices that as an opportunity to jump, pickaxe, swing in, and now he's into another box. Can he connect? And he is going to connect. Very risky though, because now he grabs the attention of the rest of the server. Someone's going to throw some C4. Remember, you can only have one C4. Lucky for him, his Catacombs build is still very much in play here. He will be able to bounce back. Let's see if he decides to go back for the loot though. There's so much there laying around.
Sway still in play right now, doing really well. The mechanics and the style are all coming together. Let's see if it could be that perfect marriage for him as he's going to continue on in this server. As we're flying over and on board here with Dragon. Has a great kit right now. Has one of the miniguns, no doubt, earned from the Grotto. Has a harpoon, so it will be interesting to see. Or as my friend Larry Fishberger says, harpoon gonna come into play. So Dragon doing what he does best. He does have a decent amount of builds. So let's see what happened, what he can do. Today catches someone. That's the kind of danger right there, man. When you're not sitting on even any, your floor, your wall, the ceiling, doesn't matter. You could get edited down, right brought to the layer, and Dragon with that very cool play right there, Monster.
Definitely was a good one. And here's Sway. He's off to the races, learning from his past mistakes, his previous mistakes, rotating with the outer edge of the zone. Very nicely done. Could be utilizing a bit of a safer build, though. If he wanted to, he could be doing some 2 ramps. Let's see. He's going to need an impact elimination. He only has 130 mats. He's going for it right now in the back half of the storm. This must be such a red flag for the opponent on defense. Oh, you know he's not happy at all. Not to fall to the likes of Sway. Not right here, not right now. Clamps gets taken out, and Sway still is on a rampage here. 5 eliminations now. Placement still, the good placement points still haven't really been given out either. He's got a long way to go right now, but he's still fighting in the mid game, or fighting in the end game chaos, what I should say.
It's going to be a really nice opportunity to see what Sway can do in game. He has the prowess, and he's getting the hits, and he's going to looking for more elims. I mean, he's kind of riding the storm line right now. I think he may drop down to the low ground, as you can see that he's kind of heading his way to the front line, catches someone right in his grill, and gets him out of the lobby. Now it is Sway in full sway. He's vibing right now. Does get hit in the back, but not kind of worried about that. Turns around and blocks, and he has to switches up the layer a little bit to get that moment to breathe here, Monster. But Sway's putting on one of those performances to let everybody know that he is a serious contender in the rest of this Fortnite Invitational.
I'm looking at the feed. I saw Unknown go down. I saw Hogman go down. Dijon go down. So many players are falling now. Punisher just falls right there in the feed. So these are players that are making it towards the end game. Not even before top 10 though. Sway doubles back into the zone to go for 2. He catches the special right there. And those guys get taken out. Can he get another? This is 8 eliminations already. And he finds another one. That's going to be his 9th now. And he is racking up the points here.
It is ringing up really high, and he has the grappler. It is Sway's world right now, and he's going to go into what he does best, and that's free build his way to height in Monster. He has the opportunity to get a Royale. 102. Has to be careful right here. Picks up the siphon on the backside of the storm line. Sway, grappler in hand. Someone tries to get away with the short pad and goes all the way, but Sway with the grappler, with the play. Can he finish his 66 points? Monster, it is a top 3 situation.
This is right where he likes to be, somewhere near that high ground. As you know, he is a creative warrior. With the grapplers, he decides to go back down because he can just go right back up, and he pushes them into the zone with a phenomenal finish. It's the Uzi who falls to FaZe Sway with a 13 elimination victory royale.
Woo! Oh my goodness. Zeke!
It happened. He's
Zeke!
Sway is my hero. Sway is that guy that, like, literally, he's the guy that shows up when you're hanging out with your friends, and he's like the cool kid. He's like the one that rolls up in the nice car. He's got the lady, he's got the jacket you want. This guy has it all. I just like Monster. Walk me through that end game. You got to. We got to talk about this.
I just wanted to say, like, these mountain end zones can really add a layer, a touch of excitement to the end games. Balla brought it up to me earlier. We saw the OCE clip of the Xu twins and how the mountain can play into the dynamic of how it plays out. When you put the grappler into the equation, and you put it into someone like a free builder like Sway, that's where the excitement raises. What a first place kind of storm takeover, right? We're talking 85 points. Before that, it was a 90 points as the biggest game swing. 85 points for FaZe Sway is still respectable. That is up there with the best of the best.